un carro de pavor. Staff and CA Hitesh by Merchant. Uh, Basically, they are going to take us forward to the today's topic of Independence Director Landscape, evaluating the opportunities of chartered accountants. And Hitesh is going to address us on opportunities in non-compliance and non-procedural areas of practice for CAs. With this limited welcome, now I request. Now we are going to play this Operation Sindoor. Basically, for our armed forces, we'll be playing a 2 minutes video for taking forward to, and then followed by national anthem, and then followed by our institute motto. We'll just watch 2 minutes video. Salute to our armed forces.
Man is a seasoned chartered accountant, a postgraduate in data science and business analytics, and a qualified independent director certified by IICA MCA. She holds additional certificates in DISA, Green Belt Six Sigma, and transformational leadership from XLRI Jamshedpur. With 24 plus years of leadership experience in multinational companies like BASF India Limited, empowering entrepreneurship, 3 pillars of sustainable success. Focus on mastering mindset, habits, and efficiency for business growth. With this, I would now request Jatin sir to kindly present the memento to our today's first speaker, Nimisha Ma'am Shah. I would also request him to present the receipt of contribution to CABF fund done on her behalf by BCSC. Thank you so much, sir. Now it's time to introduce our today's second speaker, CA Hitesh Ajit Merchant. Sir passed his BCom from Lala Lajpat Rai College, Hajir. He joined his articleship and finished his articleship from 2 sole proprietary firms. He has worked with CC Choksi and Company, Mumbai in the assurance division, handling internal audit, statutory audit, and stock taking of many listed companies and trusts belonging to the Thakur-C group. He has worked at the Regional Accountant West in Gramophone Company of India Limited, HMB, as a divisional accountant. As a divisional accountant, he has worked with Maersk India Private Limited. He has later also been working at the corporate office of Baroda Rayon Corporation Limited, also handling nylon tire cord division, accounting and accounting of Thai Baroda JV. Sir has an extensive 17 years of work experience in various manufacturing and service industries. Sole proprietorships to global estate chains, Government of Maharashtra organization in MSRDC, having finalized the Mumbai-Pune Expressway project in 2001 and 2002. Hitesh sir has also worked with contractor Nayak and Krishna Dwala. Sir has also worked with Deloitte in the International Tax Division, MNC Taxation, and FII Taxation of world's biggest FIIs. Sir is in full-time non-traditional practice since Feb 2012 for over last 13 years and contributes to many NGOs. He specializes in consulting to NRIs, direct tax advisory, international taxation, and contributes to social causes. With this brief introduction, I would again request Jatin sir to kindly present the memento to our second speaker, CA Hitesh Merchant. And along with it, a receipt of contribution to CABF fund done on his behalf by Borivali Study Circle. With this, I would request Nimisha ma'am to kindly take the charge of this session.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here today. It's my indeed a privilege to address esteemed members of CPE Study Circle, our own study circle. The emergence of independent director in India has played truly a pivotal role in strengthening the corporate governance in India. Much of it had triggered way back by industrial liberalization in early 90s. And now the liberalization had propelled the growth as well as the complexity in our corporate sector. So let us together explore the topic, which is timely as well as significant. The independent director's landscape, evaluating the opportunity for chartered accountants. So we will start with why the relevance of independent directors is more important than ever before. Understand presentation, I want to just make a disclaimer just to ensure that we have a right perspective and correct understanding of the next 50 minutes when we are going through the slides on this subject matter. Okay? Before I go on to the slide for this section, I want to ask how many of you are aspiring to become an independent director? Just a quick poll. Wow, this is amazing. Okay, this gives me more encouragement to drive through this presentation. Okay, so India is solidifying its position to become the world's economic superpower. As per IMF, India has more than doubled its growth, rising from 2.1 trillion in 2015 to 4.3 today, an enormous growth of 105% in last decade. The growth had been at the pace which is unmatched by any G7, G20 BRIC nations. We are poised to overtake Japan. Now, whenever we discuss about transformational boards, we normally construe this as a gender diversity. While gender diversity is truly needed, but a board which is diverse and inclusive will look beyond gender. The new corporate imperative is clear. The board should be diverse, it should be inclusive, and it should also be taking in ESG, sustainability, and risk management. Now, an effective board is not just a great strategy or a great numbers. It's all about values. And independent directors are conscious keepers of the board, and the role that they play is to raise the transparency and accountability that is due in the boardroom, is making this board more effective, and is a cornerstone for an effective board that we should have. The board is not looking just for experience, but the board is also in a need of having a specialized expertise or a relevant expertise. Skills are especially more in demand because it helps the board to navigate complex business challenges. Important here is to understand that increasing scrutiny and recent corporate failures have led the board under tremendous pressure. This is just a glimpse. It's not there in the paper which is being circulated, material, but just for you to understand what value a chartered accountant can bring on the. This takes me to the next question, understanding independent directorship. Before we go to this segment, I have one more question. How many of you know someone who is serving as an independent director? Okay, great. You all can raise because I'm serving as an independent director and I'm from the study circle. Jokes apart, thank you very much. So few of them already knows some or the other who are serving as an independent director. Now, section 149(6) defines who an independent director is. So basically, just to make it simple, an independent director is an non-executive director, and he's the one who has integrity, experience and expertise, and he is different by virtue of impartiality and no material connection with the company when it comes to executive and non-executive directors. So they are distinct. Now, the journey and evaluation of independent directorship in India started from contractual agreement in clause 49 to a legal framework that we have more structured today. So 2013 was the first year which modified independent director in a legal framework. And 2015 SEBI LODR, the regulation had consolidated the same. Between 2017 and 18, we had Kotak committee which had suggested few norms. Okay, so let's check how much do we understand the statutory mandatory for independent directors. So all the public listed company should have 1/3 of their board strength as an independent director. Now, if the company is a public listed company and it is one of the top 1,000 by market capitalization, or then it is mandatory to have 2 independent directors. Private companies generally are not. But one practical aspect that I want to draw your attention to is the calculation of number of independent directors is rounded off the next whole number. What does this mean? We'll see in the next question that we have. So, do we understand properly the board composition requirement and the importance of the same? So, how many independent directors are required for a board of a listed company having 10 directors, assuming the chairperson is a non-executive director? And the answers that you have, or the options that you have, is 3, 5 and 4. How many for 4? How many for 5? And how many for 3? Okay. So, first of all, this is a company having in by ensuring that independent directors are checking the same. Most of the companies in India, so this makes CA uniquely positioned to add value center because finance acumen is needed across all the industries. Now we go to the next section, which is trends and insight trend. But we are moving in the right direction. Having women in the board, making an independent director, the companies act. Now, apart from this, if a company has completed, then it goes to the board nomination and which alludes your profile, finally shares. This report is then submitted to the board. In a credible independent director. This is a very important point. And documentation. These are some best practices one should follow. Documentation is very, very, very important. And so you cannot have ignorance as your shield. It's very important that you understand what role you play, and with the role that you have, it will also bear some liability, if not performed in the right integrity. You become liable only when you have not done proper oversight of going through the processes and documents which are going through. So the liability will be triggered if the 5 main actions which are written on the left-hand side. So therefore, you have safeguards by the statute, but you can activate them only if you have followed the true integrity in your conduct. Now, there's a famous DMO insurance. Now it comes to remuneration. There is no minimum cap by the statute. The maximum is 1 lakh per meeting. Around 56 lakhs. Ranging from 15 lakhs to 1.65 crores. Now, these are the monetary benefits or the sitting fees and the commission that an independent director. Now, it is also mandatory to disclose. The remuneration of directors in the annual report. So in case if you get any opportunity, you can, if it's a listed company, you can find out from it. If it's a listed company, you can find out from the annual report of the listed company. So annual payout is around 3.5. Lakhs to 1.5 lakhs. This is a normal trend that I am suggesting. But the important point that one has to keep in mind is that remuneration varies by company, and there are various variables. To the quota. During his tenure, the stock outperformed Nifty by 18%. Now, he's a chartered accountant, our fellow member with strong governance reputation, attracted institutional investors during his tenure. The true value lies in the ability to make meaningful impact on the companies that you are truly not independent. Individuals who are awareness of liability, passive observers, overcommitted professionals, and those uncomfortable with dissent. Who doesn't believe in saying what they think in the room, thinking that you will be an odd man out, you will not be liked, and etc. Which you can give. So I'm an example of coming from an industry and taking up an independent director role. So the paths are different, but the strength are unique that a chartered accountant has, and there is scope for both, but the relevance. SEBI and Companies Act ensures that independence on paper, but actual independence depends on the professional courage, ethical standards, and board dynamics. So very important to take these points into consideration. Independent directors required to have specific qualification here, but they are supposed to pass the proficiency test. What if I get an opportunity to be an independent director in a company and I have not cleared as yet the proficiency test? You have a period of 1 year or two after you get appointed as an ID to clear the proficiency test. So you have a chance. It's not necessary that the proficiency test has to come first and then an appointment. You can take an appointment, but within the stipulated period you have to clear the proficiency test. Is virtual attendance accepted for independent directors during board meetings? Yes. With COVID, there are a lot of changes, but one should look at the article of association of the company, because after the doors of the boardroom, getting a chair inside the boardroom definitely needs some personal branding, networking also in place, and not taking every opportunity which comes to you, evaluating the board and management before you take up the role. I want to end, I have a video which I can show by my hand. Okay. So I first want to thank the audience for your patient listening. Honorable President of ICEI yesterday told in the webinar is that calculate not just profit but our impact on the society.
If you don't help bring about justice, then one day you too may experience injustice, and there will be nobody there to stand before you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nimisha. She has taken us through all the various aspects of being an independent director. Definitely, the presentation was such that definitely we'll all aspire that definitely whatever opportunity comes on our way, we'll try to go for becoming an independent director.
I want to say
they are selected of the top companies. If you watch the list of the independent directors of all top companies, those are the people right, though the name is independent director. But what I have seen, generally, though independent, but the person known to the management is appointed as an independent director. So a unknown face or maybe very competent or qualified or experienced don't get the chance to become an independent director. So what is the hurdle and how to overcome it?
First of all, thank you for asking a question. Very, very relevant question, and I'm sure it could be in the minds of many. So thank you for asking this question. First of all, I agree that the top 1,000 of 500 listed companies would have someone from the known circle, but the trend is changing. If you see the data is not so authentically available, but there are a lot of fresh independent directors taking positions, especially with SMEs and IPOs, and also in the listed companies.
There is risk, with the SME and all that. Suppose someone is joining the board of Gensol or some.
So as I said that before joining, the compliance has to be done, and all these big companies, because this act came into picture in 2014. So we saw that an independent director can have a consecutive role of 2 terms of 7 if the growth and the trajectory of the growth continues. There will be many more companies which will come into this fray, and the need for independent directors will surely increase if you look at the long term as well. Now is a situation where market is not so high. So there are companies where there are SEBI approvals to go on listing, but due to market valuation, they are not going for that stage. So the opportunities are there, maybe not in the first top 500 listed companies if you don't have that network, but you can build your personal brand, stand for governance.
How to build that brand or networking?
There are institutions which I have mentioned in my presentation slide. Just be part of them and attend the forums. You will definitely have the network to take care of. Thank you.
I think if we can take later on, because another topic and we are having a many number of topics, so it is better. Okay, so I will request Ravi Soni to present a very well-deserved vote of thanks to Nimisha.
I have to leave due to some prior time commitments. But if you have any questions in the next seminar that we have during the break time, I will definitely address those questions. All my contact details are there. You can reach out to me and I will be able to answer those.
Thank you, Jatin Bhai. I, on behalf of Borivali Central Civic Study Circle, would like to thank CA Nimisha Shah for accepting our invitation. Everyone would agree that Nimisha ji has very briefly evaluated the various opportunities for chartered accountant for independent director. I think many members can take the benefit of experience of Nimisha ji in the field of independent director and can think independent director as a very good opportunity. I once again thank Nimisha ji and request everyone to please give him a big round. Now I request Nitin sir to please take the start the session.
evening to all of you. Seniors, gentlemen on the dais, Kannada Ravi, Jatinji, Viral, and of course the core committee of Borivali Central CPE Study Circle. I am grateful and thankful to you to give me an opportunity to speak today on a topic which, according to me, is something that all practicing CAs should focus on. Non-compliance and non-procedure. However, there is a small caveat here. As chartered accountants, we are all supposed to be following the law. We are supposed to be going as per some procedure. We are supposed to comply with various statutes. Now, what are the areas of practice where we can do our practice but not fall into the trap of full-time compliance and procedures? I believe after 36 years of being in qualified for more than 36 years after qualification and 41 years since I started doing my articleship, way back in '84, seems like a long time ago. At the age of around 62, I'll be turning 62 next Saturday. I think I'm reasonably experienced, and most humbly, I would like to say I'm also qualified to speak on this particular area. Having worked, as per my introduction, what was given earlier, I worked in various industries. I worked with CA firms for about 9 years. I worked with various industries, various domains for about 17 years, and for the last, since February 2012, okay, so almost last 13 years plus, I've been working in my independent practice. Most of us, as we pass CA, when we become fresh CAs, we all want to go into peer. I don't know about the trend today, because today times have changed. When articles come to, my last assignment was a Big 4, and I was surprised that when young children come for articleship, they are so specific. They say, sir, हमको international tax करना है. International tax में FII ही करना है. In FII, they say, sir, we want to do multinational corporation. We want to do expat taxation. So their focus is very much more. In good old days, when I started my articleship in '84, we didn't have all these options. We had just simple to go to a CA office. Okay. Those days even Tally was not there, Oracle was not there, and manual books of account. Now, of course, I'm not saying that I wanted to be a CA, so you have to go through the process. But we learned it from the bottom. In my last assignment with Deloitte, I was surprised. A young boy from Borivali. I don't blame him because he's from Borivali or anything like that. But in the taxation with doing quite a division, he's asking me, sir, what is the difference between bed debts and provision for bed debts? So I laughed and asked him, Amit, did you never get an experience to do this accounting of provision for bed debts in your articleship period? Though you were in Portbandar, I said in Portbandar it is more possible for you to do it. In Mumbai, it is a service industry. In Borivali, there are lots of manufacturing industries, and bed debts are everywhere. Sir, but why do they allow bed debts in income tax? But provision for bed debts is to be added back into the computation. So this is the trend. Now, I'm not saying that what they have done is wrong. Unfortunately, in our institute scheme of things, the articleship training is not standard-based. Everything else, subsequent to qualification, is standard-based. As a power user, teaching onboarding of SAP, I am not a techie. Let me tell you, I am a debit credit accountant guy, simple man. We learned our accounting in the final CA exam. We had a course known as SADP, Statistical Analysis and Data Processing, where our subject was flowcharts and data. We passed in an era where what was taught in that SADP paper was 40 marks paper. What was taught in that paper was COBOL programming. Okay. What was taught is card reader. Now times have completely changed. Okay. We are talking about artificial intelligence. Institute is conducting courses, and I think our Borivali Study Circle has just announced that the course is full. The next batch is Borivali's announcing is full. So a lot of things have changed. Now before I start into my actual presentation, let me tell you one thing very humbly and very politely. This was in my mind for a long time. I told one of my young associates, he's 43 years old, I told him, मेरे को इसके ऊपर एक presentation बनाना है, मैं आपको feed, I will give you the data, will you make the slides for me? He said, sir, क्या बनाना है? We were just talking on the phone. You'll be surprised. In the 5 minutes talk that I was talking with him on the phone, he made this presentation while he was talking to me, and he said, I said, sir, बन गया. मैं बोला क्या बन गया? Sir, आपने जो बोला वो बना दिया. I said, I can't believe it. He sent me the first part. I refined it, and today we are seeing. I added a few slides. He said, sir, I'm giving you 2 options. I said, I don't want to speak on traditional areas of practice, mind you. I want to speak on this different area. He made it, and let me tell you, his name is Mahendra Tiwari. He's from Vayananda. He's 43 years old boy. He made this presentation, and this presentation was a little bit polished and added back by one of my other associates in Delhi, Mr. Ashish Thakur, who is also a member here. He's come here. This ready. So Ashish, can you please stand up? Yeah, he's there. I am associated with him for the last 20 years, and you will not believe it. It took him 3 minutes to just add a few slides. And this is what I believe, that our generation, along with the new generation, should team together and ensure that we deliver value. At the end of the day, CAs will have value in the society only if we add value to the clients, if we add value to the society. We will not have value because if we travel in Mercedes cars, or we travel in good suits, or we have seminars in big 5-star hotels, according to me. I may be wrong. But now let's start with the presentation. This is going to be a participative and collaborative presentation. You can correct me if I am wrong. We will have to focus on only one very important area, and that it is not possible for us to talk completely forgetting any compliance or procedure, but we have to focus on areas where our complete important thing, and that I have always been talking. Independence is our biggest first fortran. As a chartered accountant, first requirement according to me is independence. Second is good governance. Third, transparency. Okay. All these things that Institute has been always propagating over decades, which was also said in yesterday's Sarunjit Singh Nanda Saab's lecture at 7:30. It was that is also there on YouTube. I don't know whether we can show it here or not, depending on the paucity of time. But very, very important. We will not have relevance in the society because today knowledge is available at the click of a button. It may be outdated, it may not be correct, but at least if you get 80%, the next 15-20% clients will come, they will find out from some other CA who will give a free advice, and they will know what they want to do. We will not be able to add value because today what is happening is, unless you add value to the client, how do you add value to the client? What do you tell a client that he does not know? 90% clients come to us, sir, ऐसा ऐसा है, अभी इसमें क्या है, ये सब में कितना करने का है, what are the capital gains, अभी क्या होगा? So we give it like stupid food. Sorry to say this. My son is a radiologist, and I'm learning from my son. He says, Daddy, I don't give free advice even to you. I was shocked. My beta is telling me, मैं आपको free advice नहीं दूँगा. So I asked him, why sir? Beta, I'm तेरा बाप हूँ. He said, Papa, if I give you free advice, then entire family will come to me for free advice, and I am only a radiologist. मेरे को heart का मालूम नहीं, lungs का मालूम नहीं, arthritis का मालूम नहीं. You want to bet for something? Go to a specialist. I will tell you who is a good specialist. Now we have to learn from this. My son is 34. I am 62. I am learning still from my son. That's why we call ourselves CAs in practice. We keep on practicing. We keep on learning. Now let's focus. Enough introduction. I am grateful to Nimisha to set the momentum. Let's start. What, according to you, is first slide? Our focus on this presentation will be focus on this particular environment. What, according to you, is compliance? This I have copied from the Cambridge Dictionary. Compliance is an act of obeying a law or rule, especially one that controls a particular industry or type of work. Second definition of compliance means the act of doing everything that someone tells you or wants you to do. I hope this is very clear, compliance. Second is procedure. What do you mean by procedure? It is relating to the usual or official way in which something is done. Most of us as CAs will agree that after we do our articleship, by the time we pass our exams and our initial years, the first 5 years, we understand that we are basically doing compliance and procedures. For those who are in practice, it's a continuing process. It doesn't stop after that. But for those of us who have come from industry, I've spent 17 years in industry in various domains. I've done it in manufacturing, service, listed, unlisted, proprietorships turned to global chains, teaching SAP to senior qualified CAs in Deloitte, all young, smart young people. Not because I was more smart than them, but because I knew what the business of CA was about. How did I know that? Because I was involved in my business, knowing my industries, and I decided when I joined Deloitte, I was asked the first question, why do you are more qualified to work in industry? Why do you want to work for a CA office? This was asked to me by my national functional leader tax. So I smiled. I said, sir, I don't want to work in industry because it is too taxing. So he laughed. He said, do you think you are less stressed here? I said, sir, if you ask my opinion, it's easy to be in CA practice than to be in industry because to continue this fantastic thing that they have started in the last few months, I've seen, they want to encourage members from our own study circle to speak, give opportunities to members from the industry, give opportunities to seniors to hand over their experience. Don't let them take it to them in the grave. See, the biggest problem that I am seeing today in the profession is all of us are seniors, according to me. Once you pass the exam, we are all equal. However, what differentiates me from somebody else is what was my experience and how do I share it. Let me tell you, there are gems in the profession. Gems means hidden gems. Not those who are in Big Four, no. They are ordinary people from small towns, tier C cities. I meet them on my WhatsApp groups. I interact with them. There are people who have done body of work 35-40 years in a particular domain. One is coming in the next speaker, in the next session is coming, Mr. Ramesh Prabhu. 35 years work, he started it, he is a master of his subject. When nothing was there, he built it, RERA practice, cooperative sector practice. Like that, there is another young gentleman, a lady, RCM, current RCM, Rekha Damantkar. I didn't know her, she's from Pune. She's into forensic practice. Believe me, I had been to her office in Pune. She's doing nothing except forensic. I met her partner who's handling audits, young boy of Daisar. So I said, तुम Daisar से Pune कैसे आ गए? Sir, article shift करता था, अभी मैडम मेरे को छोड़ती नहीं, मेरे को वो forensic ही करनी है, और मेरे को बोलते खाली आप audit ही करो। मैं दमला है सर, मला छोड़ायचं। तो I was asking him, क्यों छोड़ने हैं? तुम तो young है यार, तुम तो कर सकते। Sir, अभी होता नहीं है। मैं कहा age क्या हुआ तुम्हारा? What's your age? Sir, I'm 44. So if this is happening at the age of 44, the burnout in the audits, statutory audits, compliances, company law, so many qualifications. In the bank audits, I was surprised recently in a group from South India. Canara Bank has announced future prospects. I can say with a lot of personal hands-on experience, having implemented SAP in Deloitte on behalf of Deloitte USA in Deloitte India, way back in 2010. 15 years back. We are not yet even talking about SAP Institute of Chartered Accountants. Do you know how Institute of Chartered Accountants maintains its accounts? Anybody? Can you tell me? Yes. The console, if you look at the auditor's report of the statutory auditor's report of the institute, please read it on the website, it is there. Search for it, Google, you will find it. The statutory auditors, every year's reports are the same. We have not verified the accounts and consolidation of done reports of the statutory branch country study civil body. Let's now go further. So our focus will be on this slides. Okay. People, wherever you feel, it is not possible to completely remove compliance or procedure from a CA's practice. But we have to focus on those areas of practice where our adherence to this is reduced, and at the same time we are still adding value to the society. We are still adding value to ourselves in terms of work satisfaction, in terms of money, and in terms of stature in the society. Okay. So with your permission, I will go to the next slide, sir. What we will cover today. The changing landscapes, non-traditional areas of practice. I don't want to speak on that because there are a huge number of speakers who speak on that. I don't want to follow that. I believe in order to create your own brand, you have to be different. Okay. In Borivali itself, we have about 6,000 CAs. Okay. Each one of us is unique. How do you differentiate your services vis-a-vis others? Our elected representatives are doing their good work, but the dissent, which is a very important part of any government, said, oh, why are you going to laugh? I said, I want to enjoy 2 years. I really enjoyed my qualified. So thereafter I should get mature. Do everything. No. We can also do it. Individually I have got to do everything. No. We can also do it. Individually I have got to high net worth assessments, and I have told I'm twisting, we all know taxation department, high net worth assessments, and I have told I'm twisting, we all know taxation department, GSP department, what type of arm twisting is going on, all of us know it. I don't need to say that. You have to hold department, what type of arm twisting is going on, all of us know it. I don't need to say that. You have to hold the ground, you have to be firm, you have to be polite, and you have to say, sir, you can do what you want, I am not going to. आप बताओ कितना पैसा बनाया है, आपने एक किसका असेसमेंट लिया, उसमें फंडिंग किसका है, पॉलिटिशियन का है, भाई लोग का है. I said, sir, I am not supposed to discuss of creditors. This is the balance conversion. This is it. He harassed me for a film star's case, for a high net worth individual's case. I didn't budge. After 4 days, he is telling me, merchant sir, मैंने आपको बहुत हैरान किया. I said, no sir. I gave him a very nice diplomatic smile. I said, no sir, not at all. आपने आपका काम किया, मैंने मेरा काम किया. So this is what our earlier speaker also said. What we are not learning in our course, and which I believe the seniors should teach the juniors, is how to compliance and non procedures. Next slide, sir. Why? Because it will give us an enhanced earning potential. In the traditional practice, all of us here are having practice. Tell me, how much do you charge for the institute minimum recommended scale of fees? I am asking, how many of you do that? Please raise your hands. How many of you charge above the institute's recommended scale of fees? Only 1, 2 hands. Yeah, great. Incidentally, I do that. I charge my 6 lakh rupees earning client 15,000 rupees for a salary return, and he gives it to me happily. I charge a retired person who is working as a professional with his own employers, along with his investment and other income, 20,000 rupees, and he gives me his payment. He is happy with my services. He gives me his payment. Then before sending my bill, he is telling me, merchant sir, आपका payment last time के हिसाब से उतना कम दिया है. अगर ज़्यादा होगा तो मेरे को वो balance कर दूँगा. How do I add? How did I get this? How did I reach this? What is it that I am giving that you can't give? ऐसी कौन सी चीज़ मेरे पास कुछ जादू मंत्र तो नहीं है. I don't have a magic wand that my client को मैंने mesmerize किया. No. Now if we teach this to our next generation, the practicing skills, it will really help and add value to the society, to our biradari. And if our biradari is satiated, is earning well, it will be able to, you work hard, you don't get money. But what is the difference between you and a rickshaw wala yaar? तो घर पे भांडी मांगने वाली, वो 1800 दो, 2000 दो, उसको जो मिलता है वो तुमको मिलता है. वो हर महीने 1800 देती है, तुम हर साल का 2000 दे. I'm sorry, please understand why I am talking about non-compliance and non-procedure. So it is for us. You want to join the rickshaw wala and the bhandi walis, or do you want to be calling yourself proud? I am a proud chartered accountant, Asian partner in Asian. It's your choice. I decided my choice after I left the work. मुझे वो काम नहीं करना जो सब करते. Very clear. Incidentally, right now what work I am doing? Okay, let me tell you. There are, of course, I am not the only one who is doing it. There are so many others also doing it. And they are all seasoned chartered, and I have a lot of respect for them. There is one gentleman by the name of Abhay Chandara. I don't know whether I should take names or not. He is doing shared samadhan private limited. You know what he is doing? Value-added work to the society. Less compliance. Your KYC is not there. Your dividends have not come. Your shares are gone in IPF. People is employed. He was a practicing chartered accountant. In our own Borivali study circle, there was one gentleman by the name of Snehal Kamgar. Most of them know. Most of you must be knowing. He was into traditional practice. He left it. He is completely doing only insolvency practice. Valuation में था. Valuation भी छोड़ दिया. मुझे valuation में मजा नहीं merchant में. It's not value for money. There's no profit in it. You are employing, you are adding more and more people, more costs. Now, in this slide, it may not necessarily cover everything, but corporate governance and independent directorship. My previous speaker spoke on independent directorship. Less number of compliances and procedures. Corporate governance, huge area. Okay, teaching, mentorship. If you look at the LinkedIn handles of some of our past presidents and CCOs, I don't want to name them, it does not befit me to do that. Most of them are TEDx speakers, Joe's talks, okay, YouTubers. Okay. Why are they doing it? You think they are stupid? No. They have risen up to the level of CCM or past presidents. Okay. They're not stupid. None of them would know nothing about day-to-day practice, which even you or me would know. Third, subsidy schemes of various state and central government. Huge area of compliance on procedural practice. This is very much prevalent in Bimaru states, West Bengal, Bihar. You go there, you see what type of work practice CAs are doing. They are adding value. Various state government and central government schemes. We had it in our Borivali study circle also sometime back. One of our good speakers had come there. High value added investment advisory. Yeah, this is a very big scope. I'm not talking about stock mein ye kharido, wo kharido. No. Look at Rashna Ranade. Most of you would have heard about her name. She is giving tips, but no, I don't want to go into that fine people. There are people who are coming back from abroad. There are retired people. How do you add value to them? How do you give them investment? I am right now handling one such case. This gentleman has come after 35 years in Muscat. He's got about 5-6 crores. Merchant साहब मेरे को कोई बोलता है म्यूचुअल फंड में डालो, कोई बोलता है स्टॉक में डालो. I give him my advice. I will not share it with you because I charge it for it. He was convinced that my advice was right, and he's totally like in Mafalal Group where I started my career. In Mafalal Group, nothing in Mafalal Group would move, including engagements with all the second or third generation of Mafalal, unless they check with Mr. C.C. Chowsi. Now that is the type of faith, that is the type of confidence that our client should have with us. तुमको पूछने के बिना कुछ नहीं करेगा. I am grateful to my seniors in C.C. Chowsi who made me from a rough stone into a seasoned professional, handling SAP implementation for Deloitte India on behalf of Deloitte Global. The foundation was that. Okay. Thereafter, you have to work on it. Okay. Next, high value-added consultancy in various domain areas. You may be having clients in say manufacturing or diamonds or say shipping. Okay. How do you add that value? Suresh Surana and Associates. क्या काम करता है मालूम? मजदर सेंटर, औरा सेंटर में चकाला के पास फीस शिफ्ट में कॉल सेंटर चला है. काम क्या करते हैं? अकाउंट रिसीवेबल, अकाउंट पेएबल का खाली डेटा प्रोसेसिंग. ही हैज अ बस फुल ऑफ पीपल कमिंग इनटू हिज ऑफिस डूइंग 3 शिफ्ट्स. एक ही काम. ओवरसीज का काम लो, अकाउंट रिसीवेबल, अकाउंट पेएबल प्रोसेसिंग. This is done on a 25 times bigger scale by Deloitte in Hyderabad on global level. Next, salary processing. Here, of course, it is not totally without compliance of procedure, but yeah, a little bit is there. Next, forensic accounting and fraud detection. I would request our speakers here, our conveners, please call Rekha Damankar. I have heard one of her lectures. Excellent. She's a pioneer in that forensic. Young lady from, she's completely gone into forensic and she's doing great work. Great work. Please do invite her. She works from home in Borivali. He's very happy. इतना तो यार साला गधा का हम लोग नौकरी किया. पहले मालूम होता तो मैं बोला मगर यार 1.5 लाख कमा रहा है because उधर 10 साल तुम कोलगेट में SAP किया ना इसलिए तुमको मालूम. So SAP and ERP implementation, huge opportunity is there. Financial structuring and working capital management. The biggest problem of all entrepreneurs. पैसा मांगता है सर धंधा करने के लिए. Lots of speakers are there on the stories. Please do call, find out who are the right speakers and call them for working capital, how to raise funds. Cash flow optimization for SMEs. It's a very huge scope. Value-added services. The virtual CFO services. Everybody knows what are their cash flows. There are two models of business. One in which profit is accrued, and the second is profit is not accrued, income is accrued. Cash is inflow. Cash is accrued daily. Okay. You do your income accounting बाद में करो. रोज कितना cash गले में आता है वो देखूंगा. Best example, the next door hotels on our left and right of the study center. Gaurav Gandhi here and Rajmahal next. They don't do accounting. रोज गले में कितना है. Now I am telling this again from my experiences working for specialty restaurants. Illiterate man. His business was not into restaurant. He was his passion. खाना बनाने का कुछ था. He had a, sorry I am taking a little bit time. Please excuse me, sir. You will not believe it, sir. He asked me to leave a multinational and join him. That time I told him, sir, I am reporting to Copenhagen. I am reporting to Singapore. आप ये काम करते हो? मैं बोला ना सर, झूठ तो नहीं बोलूँगा, मेरे लिए यही काम करना है। आई एम टॉकिंग ऑफ द ईयर 1998। तो आई सेड सर, आपके पास स्ट्रक्चर क्या है, धंधा क्या है? एडवर्टाइजिंग एजेंसी 120 करोड़ का धंधा करता और नया रेस्टोरेंट, 5 रेस्टोरेंट का चेन है। मेरा पैशन, मगर मेरा रेस्टोरेंट बिजनेस मेरे से संभाला नहीं जाता, तो मुझे यही काम करना है। आप मेरे लिए ये काम करो, रिपोर्टिंग, मंथली अकाउंटिंग, एक्चुअल पर्सन बजट, कैश फ्लो रिपोर्टिंग, डेविएशन, कंप्लायंसेस विद स्टैट्यूट, ऐसे करिएगा। 30% मोर चलेगा? यस सर, आई बी वेरी हैप्पी। कल से आ जाओ? बोला नहीं सर, कल से नहीं आऊँगा, 1 महीने का नोटिस पीरियड होगा, वो मैं दे दूँगा। बोला नहीं सर, क्रिटिकल है, मैं ऐसा नहीं करूँगा। यू विल बी सरप्राइज्ड, इन 3 years टाइम आई लेफ्ट। I did a mistake. I should have joined him on an ESOP basis. ऐसा होता, I would not be sitting here. I would be sitting somewhere with him in Europe or Africa. He is now handling his company name is Specialty Restaurants Limited, 160 restaurants globally. He asked me later to join him as a director of finance. I said, "Kyun sir? Why do you want me to join you as a director of finance?" बच्चन साहब अच्छे आदमी नहीं होते। मैं मतलब सर तभी भी अच्छा था, अभी भी अच्छा हूँ, तभी क्यों मेरे को लात मारा? तभी तुम्हारा काम हो गया था, अभी जरूरत नहीं थी। तो सर आज क्यों जरूरत है? आज बड़े बड़े लोग के साथ गया, प्राइस वाटर हाउस, डिलॉयट, सब मतलब की यारी है। सर वो तो मेरे साथ में था नहीं, मगर तेरे को तो 35% में तेरा पेट बढ़ा था, इनको तो 35% में पेट नहीं बढ़ा। 10% इक्विटी स्टेक बेचा, 600 करोड़ आया। 600 करोड़ का करने आ गया, पैसा तो आ गया, 600 करोड़ का करने गया। जस्ट कॉल मी वंस, इधर मैं मिलने पाऊंगा तो क्या क्यों 600 करोड़ का क्या करने गया? Now, because I had worked with him for 14 hours a day for 3 years as a retainer, I was not an employee. I told him, sir, biggest problem क्या है? बोलते तुम्हारे टाइम में था वही प्रॉब्लम है, क्या रेट आदमी नहीं मिलते? सर बने हो ना? मेरे को बोलते हैं मच्छी खाओ, मच्छी साथ। मैं बोला सर मैं वेजिटेरियन हूँ, मच्छी नहीं खाऊंगा, मच्छी खाऊंगा तो तुमको कॉम्पिटिशन हो जाएगी, मेरी बुद्धि ज़्यादा चलेगी आज से। I gave him one advice, and that's why he still respects me. I gave him one advice. So the biggest problem of your business is we are not getting trained people. 600 crores, 300 करोड़, आप कोलकाता के हो, 300 करोड़ में उधर प्रोजेक्ट करो, एक बेंगलोर में डालो। Let's create a training institute for ordinary boys to be polished waiters, kitchen staff, okay, service. जिसको इंग्लिश, हिंदी कुछ बोलने को नहीं आता, बंगाली बोलने को आता, उड़िया बोलने को आता है। You see that service in mainland China. Of course, now it is retail oriented because it's a public company. I was so impressed when I went to his restaurant. I never used to go to the restaurant because they eat non-veg. I said, मैं नहीं खाता. He told me, Hitesh bhai, you will get special vegetarian food, and you gave me your critical comments. I was shocked when I saw it. Okay? These boys who don't know how to speak Hindi and English, they come to serve you. Their service is far better than the 5-star hotel service. So how did this happen? It didn't happen because of Hitesh Murthy. It happened because there was a vision, and that is where we CS can add vision to the plans to help them to grow the businesses. I am sharing my 45 years of work experience here. It is not possible for me in 55 minutes or 1 hour to finish whatever I have learned in 45 years. But I will go further. All the other things are there on my slide which you can read on your own. But I will just focus on this slide and then I will end my session. Because I have been given a mandate to finish it off on Sunday. Real estate advisory. Okay. Today real estate is big business. और एक चीज सीखा सर industry. Most of all, you will also understand with me because you are all in practice. गुजराती में एक कहावत है, जे नदी में पानी लेतो है ने ये नदी में बोट लेने some up and down cyclical fluctuations happen. Similarly with practice, clients come, they leave. Are you able to project yourself in such a way? Can you see ahead of time what is going to come? आगे क्या होने वाला है? 2 साल के बाद क्या होने वाला है? So that is where I am talking about real estate advisory. There is a huge scope. I will not go into it. It's a topic by itself. I think Ramesh Bhai will also speak on it on the next session. ESG, huge scope. The previous speaker also spoke about that. Okay. Environmental is the biggest issue today, and biggest corporates globally are talking about it. Social responsibilities of businesses. Our Charunjit Singh Nanda Sahab has spoken about it yesterday on his YouTube. It is there on the Institute channel. Please see it. Governance. According to me, governance is the only thing that distinguishes us as CAs from other professions. Medical profession, no governance. Institute of Chartered Accountant is still governed. It may not be governed to the extent I want it to be governed. Look at Medical Council of India. Look at Bar Council of India. Our profession is still far, far superior. And I am very proud to say this. Of course, it doesn't mean that I am very happy. A lot of things still, it's a continuous improvement process. Next, family business advisory. A lot of young CAs are going into that. But for that, again, you need to comply on compliance and procedures. But family business advisory, somebody is rich, 500-600 crore रुपया बना रही है, उसका पैसा संभालेगा, wealth संभालेगा. How do you do it? For that, of course, you need a global perspective, international wealth management, local tax laws, all those things. And this is another area where I am focusing on now, international tax advisory. A lot of value addition. Earning in dollars, spending in INR. Straight cash into the bank. But for that, of course, you can't do it overnight. ये सब हो जाता है. But I am happy that today the younger generation, the young girls like them, the lady in the black specs there, they come to me and I feel very happy that they are focused. My son is also very focused. मेरे को बोलते हैं पापा आपसे 10 मिनट बात करूँगा मेरा 10 पेशेंट मर जाएगा और 10 पेशेंट का ऑपरेशन डिले हो जाएगा. So let me work. आपसे बात बाद में करूँगा. I don't want to talk to you. पापा आप बहुत बात करते हैं. So this is the focus that I like in this generation, which we didn't have. I will just very fast go through these slides. So we all know those non-traditional areas. There are other speakers to speak. I think tomorrow morning also there is a session at Bhatyawadi. Give it 5 more years. I will not be surprised. And mark my words, I have written it on my LinkedIn handle. In 3 years' time, max 3 years, I am giving it 3 years. The government will give you a data sheet on your income tax portal. They will tell you this is your income. You want to accept it, press a click, pay your taxes online, and that's it. You won't need CFO doing anything. Clear tax का भी धंधा बंद हो जाएगा. Boss. GST, you will be surprised. I was shocked. I read this on one of our WhatsApp groups. The portal and ration card. This is the advent of technology that is happening today. Problem is we are so focused on our nitty-gritties and sub-clause and provisos and rule A, 1A, 2B, what nonsense. And I am reminded of what Mr. Nani Palkiwala used to often say. This must be more than 45 years back. We have to focus on the bigger picture. We need to see it to do all this minute things. And government hates us for this because we are going into litigation. Government does not want CS to do tax litigation. No. What we should do is we should try to help the government. How do we add value to this, to make India Viksit Bharat? That is unfortunately not being focused on. Anyway, I am grateful to you for a patient hearing. I am sorry if I have transgressed my area of speech. And once again, I wish all the best to all of you. I thank my study circle.
We thank you, Hitesh Bhai, for sharing your practical experience and focusing and giving an eye-opener that we should now focus on non-traditional, non-operational areas of our practice. I would now request CA Ravi Soni, our convener, to propose a very well-deserved vote of thanks to Hitesh Bhai.
Thank you, Jatin Bhai. I, on behalf and the vision which Hitesh has told that in near future, the compliance and procedural work will definitely come down. So we should have a vision of focusing on other works other than compliance and non-procedural. So I once again request everyone to please give Hitesh a big round of applause. There is a break of 5-10 minutes. Then we will start the second session.
I would always accept.
Borivali Central CPE Study Circle. Before we start the next session, we would like to display the video, a small effort from BCSE side to salute our armed forces. We all know the ongoing tensions between the two countries, and we all know that what and feel pride, like I am today, for Indian Armed Forces.
We welcome you all for this another session of opportunities for CAs in RERA practice. We have stalwarts with us, CA Ramesh Prabhuji. We welcome you, sir. I would now request CA Tejas Unatkanti. He is the moderator of this particular session. I would request him to first come on the dais. And I request him to introduce him and
Thank you so much, Jatin sir, for giving me this opportunity to introduce our today's panelists and moderator. The first, the moderator for this panel discussion, CA Tejas Unatkanti. It is a distinct honor and privilege to introduce to you a speaker whose professional journey reflects a perfect blend of depth, diversity and dedication. With over 14 years of rich experience across varied industries, Tejas sir has carved a unique niche for himself, particularly in the real estate sector. I would also request him to give him the receipt of contribution to CABF fund done on his behalf by BCSE. Ramesh sir is a practicing chartered accountant and a CISA from USA, qualified with experience of more than 3 decades, and his opinion is sought on various laws and issues, particularly in RERA and cooperative sector. He is a partner in RS Prabhu and Associates, chairman of Maharashtra Societies Welfare Association, a Mumbai-based registered NGO which is spreading the cooperative society movement across Maharashtra, and chairman of Swagat Housing Finance Company Limited. His book on deemed conveyance was released by Shri Prithviraj Chauhan, ex-Chief Minister of Government of Maharashtra, with a forward message from Her Excellency Srimati Pratibha Patil, the then President of India, and Sir had occasion to be the presidential guest at the Rashtrapati Bhavan, New Delhi. He is the member of the Committee of the Government of Maharashtra to include a separate chapter for Cooperative Housing Society in the F becomes synonymous with the Housing Society in Feb 2020. With this brief introduction, I welcome you, Ramesh sir, on the dais. Panelist for the day, CA Shardul Shah, to kindly join us on the dais. Shardul sir has 20 years of experience in financial and capital markets, experience in management and operation consultancy to corporate, depository participants, portfolio management services, AIF, research analysts, investment advisors, mutual funds, and so on. He is also providing consultancy services to insurance companies, insurance brokers, corporate agents in the area of compliance consultancy, management consultancy, system audit in the consumer, retail, real estate and agro sectors. He was awarded with 40 under 40 alternative investment professionals in India, award by the Indian Association of Alternate Investment Funds, IAAIF, in January 2018. In past, he has worked with organizations like RSM and Company, now merged with PwC, SEAF India and SREI Alternatives. With this brief introduction, I would request our Deputy Convener, CA Pratik Maru sir, to kindly come on the dais and...
If you guys have any questions, you can just raise your hands and ask your questions. We have our own set of questions, but we would love to definitely hear it from your own mouth, because you guys are facing those practical difficulties, and this would benefit each one of us, because so practical difficulties face karta hai.
Government has taken stringent actions against the developer on non-compliances. However, Chhattisgarh
it is compulsory. Now, if you have to look at from that angle, the profession opportunity is huge. Even if you take opportunity is huge. Even if you take 5,000 rupees as charges per certificate, 46 charges per certificate, 46. Just take out the calculator. 46,000 into 4 into 5,000. Look at the revenue that is available for a chartered accountant. Now, it is a very good thing which Tejas rightly pointed out. The Maharashtra, other states which he referred, yes, certainly. They are charging penalty. Such is the stringent provision which Maharashtra has taken. So therefore, you should not take it lightly. You should tell the promoter that if you are handling any of the promoter's account, please guide them. And some of the orders, if you don't want to see, we will send it to the convener. You can also send it to them. That these are the orders which are passed. Are you interested? Are you interested in getting those orders and then pay 50,000? Then get into all this. Then pay 50,000. Then get into all this complication. And let me tell you, to comply with all this, another 2 to 3 months goes. That means your account. Even if there is one who is taking us for lightly. You tell us in your system, in your certification, where you are facing problem, we are there to help you. Of the promoter. This is the sentence passation. The chartered accountant's role is just to certify. The amount incurred towards the land cost and towards the construction cost. That is called as a project cost. Now, in order to certify as a chartered accountant, we will certainly go through. The books of account. When I go through the books of account, naturally, if there is a land cost, Maharashtra has got an exception saying that either you take a land cost as per the books of account, or as per the what is called as annual statement rate. That is a ready reckoner value, stamp duty ready reckoner value. Normally, ready reckoner value is more than the value on which they are acquired. Because no properties are acquired lesser than the ready reckoner value. So therefore, it is always say the ready reckoner value which is shown as the cost of acquisition. Recurrent value which is shown as the cost of acquisition. So therefore this need to be certified. Who will certify? Naturally the promoter. This is the valuation method he has done, so that you can correlate with the books of account, because you are a custodian. As a chartered accountant, we are the custodian of the money which is given by the allottees, and we are the extended towards land cost and construction cost. Now if this, therefore RERA has appointed BDO India, a consultancy firm which all of you may be aware, and per chartered accountant they are paying 2 lakh rupees. 10 chartered accountants are there. Every month they are paying 20 lakh rupees just to do the verification of the form number 3 and form number 5. You don't think that what you are doing and wanted to bring it to your knowledge. Thank you very much. Sorry for the lengthy answer.
Thank you so much, sir. Your inputs are very much valuable for each one of us, because sir, एक भूल कहीं पे किसी को भारी पड़ सकता है.
Just to extend what the sir had explained, you need to understand the flow. See, form 1, 2, 3, 5.
I think you take the mic, right?
Yes, correct. Yes, now say, these are practical thing, practical problem what we are facing. One of my clients, the building project is of 25 stories. The CC has been maximum for 5 stories.
जरा कैमरा वाला किधर है? उसको घुमाना पड़ेगा ना, घुमाना पड़ेगा ना। आगे आदमी सवाल पूछते हैं, उसको बराबर फोकस करें।
Yes, sir. Up to 6 crores. Now, how should you write the form? Because the total expenditure incurred is 6 crores. The total expenditure to be incurred on that 5 slab is just 5 crores. So, what is the practical side?
Building is 25.
The building project is supposed to be a project. Thank you.
क्या है? The question he has asked is very simple. There is an estimate column and there is an incurred column. Can an estimate match with the incurred?
No.
Not necessarily. Estimate is always estimate. Incurred is one which we certify. Estimate is given based on certain mathematics at the time of registration of the project. At the time of registration of a project, promoter and the engineer thought that yes, 6 crore is actually incurred. Okay. Now having said that, you can advise the promoter, now that your estimates incurred has gone up, estimate is lower, there is a provision for RERA to revise the estimates. Why don't you take the current estimate and pay 5,000 fees, get the revised estimates incorporated, so that there will not be an awkward situation later on. आप 5 करोड़ का estimate किया, 25 करोड़ रुपए खर्चा हुआ. This will be a problem. Why there will be on? आप 5 करोड़ का estimate किया, 25 करोड़ रुपए खर्चा हुआ. This will be a problem. Why there will be a problem? Not because of our certification. You know, I call the attention of GST department, and I am also one of the faculties to do that. Even Joint Commissioner, Commissioner of Income Tax, AO, Assistant Commissioners, they also call us for giving a lecture as to how to read the data which is put in the website. Because now that the faceless assessment is happening, and if this type of estimates differs, then they may say that it's an additional estimates assessment is happening, and if this type of estimates differs, then they may say that. Just one request. Kunal Modi is here. He is a deputy convener of a RERA study circle formed by the WBS. Once in a month there is a 3-hour session and WBS. once in a month there is a 3-hour session, and there in Threadbare, lot of things, practical things are being discussed. I would suggest those who are really practicing RERA and issuing a certificate, please get enrolled in that RERA, study circle. With RERA should be your.
Wow, ये तो पूरा knowledge का भंडार है यहाँ पे. I think Litesh bhai himself is a developer, so whatever inputs he has given it from developer. So whatever inputs he has given it from the other side of the table. So आप समझ सकते हो कि यहाँ पे जो आपको inputs मिल रहा है दोनों साइड से मिल. So आप समझ सकते हो कि यहाँ पे जो आपको inputs मिल रहा है दोनों साइड से मिल रहा है. It is not just one way traffic. So continuing, sir, आपने जैसे बताया कि estimates. So estimates are always prepared by the promoter, his engineering team, and his team is working in the office. This has been uploaded by वो यहाँ पे.
And here they apply. Then when you apply under section 7, subsection 3, again he says what are the measures you have taken to get the signature of the allottees. So the allottees are scattered, they don't give. So this is another problem, and therefore most of the times if the project does not get the extension, the project is considered as a lapse. Chartered accountant also to certify that the project is lapsed. So this is the problem. Present chairman, very, very sorry to say, and he is not taking that interest in this sensitive issue, and the extension is not happening that required. Now you have put another question. What was the second question? I forgot. What was the extension?
When the developer is eligible for say some additional FSI and he wants to.
Just because an architect has put an application and without 2/3 allottees consent, they are doing, but they are.
Now we, my partner and me, when we were sector as developers, we were so to cut.
What they may be not a complication that can come. I'll just share one story of Goregaon Pearl Cooperative Society, because he said about redevelopment. Have you heard about this society, Goregaon Pearl Cooperative Society? Times of India में इधर उधर सब जगह published हुआ है. What is the matter? 60 members existing, 72 new people to be housed. It's a MADA project. MADA earlier it was 2.5 FSI, then 3 FSI, 3.5, 4 FSI. So every 2 years he was changing the plan. 10 years over, building did not come. But what he did, he sold nearly 72 flats, received nearly 1.5 crore from everybody, and he was building. Kya hua? Unfortunate to the society, because they are the partners in the real estate project. They are the promoters. So the purchaser went to National Commission, and National Commission Consumer Protection Act, they gave 1.5 crore आपने दिया है, 9% इंटरेस्ट, 12 साल हो गया तब तक, तो 9% इंटरेस्ट, मतलब 1.5 करोड़ के सामने 3 करोड़. किसने देना चाहिए? Anyhow, don't look at the developer like Sai developers. So the credentials of the developer is very important, and Tejas is also working with the developer. He did not mention that, but I है ना, वो भी डेवलपर के साथ ही काम कर रहा है.
सर सब रात आज मत खोल देना.
So when you are taking it, because he was talking about redevelopment, I thought let me caution you. So you need to be a good advisor to your client, one who is a society. You are also staying in a society. Redevelopment has become a talk of the town, and these are all the things which you can learn better when you do 6 days course. Not that you want to practice, but at least if you have that workshop completed with the experts, it will be a great asset for you. Thank you very much. Over to you. Sorry.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. शादू भाई को कुछ बोलना है?
सर जो है ना ज्ञान का सागर है, तो हम बह जाते हैं. See, there are 2-3 points that what Litesh bhai said, Prabhu sir said. One thing is that no, RERA क्यों आया? We have to see the flow, just like previously said, 1, 2, 3 forms are there, very much sequence order is there. Same way, you see the British building, the German style, Japanese style, they are very much systematic. जो पहले प्लान किया है उसी को इम्प्लीमेंट करो, कोई छोटा सा चिंडीगिरी करने मत जाओ. Honestly speaking, ये थोड़ा FSI मिल गया, ये कर लिया, थोड़ा FSI. See, previous developer what used to do? Jumping like joker, you will fall down. So please adhere to the certain basic principles. Why the RERA Act came? See, they have seen the foreign system. There ऐसे ही काम होता है. हम लोग पहले सोचते बिल्डर तो बड़ा आदमी होता है, बिल्डर वो एजेंट और ट्रस्टी है, वो हमारे पैसे से बिल्डिंग बना रहा है. And that is why the RERA Act 7 that designated account वहाँ पर 70 या 100% क्यों रखना है करके, because वो पैसे हमारे हैं, वो खा ना जाए उसके लिए, उसको सिर्फ थोड़े से मार्केटिंग एडवर्टाइजमेंट के लिए पैसे अलग से रखने हैं बस. That's it.
Very nice experience that is being shared. I feel सब personal experience से बहुत कुछ बोल रहे हैं. So आप लोग के लिए बहुत अच्छा है क्योंकि यहाँ पे panelists are not only going by the books, they are sharing their personal experience of what they have experienced with each and every developer. From the same lines, I would say that this is the main reason I found this as an opportunity to get into this particular sector, because ये sector का knowledge था, expertise था. So somewhere you realize that there is a ये competence रखते हैं कि हम लोग ये field में घुस सके, तो ये field में opportunities और it is immense. आप सोच नहीं सकते हो इतनी opportunities है ये field में. Continuing with our topic, जो प्रभु सर ने भी बताया कि प्रमोटर को प्रोमोटर, तो कुणाल भाई कोई सवाल आप लोग के साइड से रहेगा तो प्लीज.
पैनल तो चलते रहेगा, आपका सवाल आना चाहिए.
यहाँ पे तो नॉलेज का भंडार है, सब चालू ही रहेंगे बोलने को, किसी को मिले तो कोई माइक नहीं छोड़ेगा आज.
प्रभु सर बैकिंग करने आए.
Sir, RERA registration is required only when you need to market the project. And nowadays, most of the small builders are doing that. They don't even wait up to OC because of GST.
25%, 30%. What is GST? The matter is subsidized or clear. Whether GST is applicable and who needs to bear the GST?
अभी पैनलिस्ट को पूछो, RERA पैनल डिस्कशन है.
Sir, आप कैसे ड्यूटी पता है हमारा?
Please. Let that issue, but I request जितना हो सके उतना रेरा पे रखें और अपॉर्चुनिटीज फॉर.
देखो, हाउसिंग सोसाइटी वाले को हमेशा एक आदत है एनक्रोचमेंट करना, और मुंबई में तो ज्यादा है. हमारा सब्जेक्ट तो रेरा का है, जीएसटी का एनक्रोचमेंट मैं कर रहा हूँ. Having said that, yes, see, the RERA or GST provision is very clear. Suppose a promoter is constructing 100 flats. Okay, out of that 100 flats, assuming that the promoter there is nothing to be given to the existing member and all, छोड़ दो उसको. If he is selling 100 flats, out of that 80 flats he sells under construction. So he takes 5% GST. 20 flats remains under unsold. Now that 20 flats which remains unsold, now the OC has come. Now on that flat, 20 flats, he cannot recover the GST. Therefore the government says, on that 20 flats, you pay under reverse charge. 5%. This is the provision known to each one of us. इसमें कोई डाउट है? सर आपको भी डाउट है? नो. अभी सवाल लेते हैं, मेरा सोसाइटी है जहाँ 100 फ्लैट बनता है, उसमें से 40 फ्लैट एग्जिस्टिंग को और 80 फ्लैट मेरे को बेचने को मिलता है. ओके, नाउ दैट मीन्स 120 फ्लैट्स आई एम कंस्ट्रक्टिंग. नाउ आई एम एबल टू सेल, let us say out of 80 which I am able to sell, say 60 I am able to sell. Now 60 remains unsold. Now out of that 60 which remains unsold, 40 I am giving to my existing members, and 20 I am going to sell after the OC is issued. So therefore, as on the date of the OC, 60 which has been retained by the developer for the purpose of 40 to the existing members and 20 for the sale are. Now the OC is issued 5% GST. किसको चाहिए? गवर्नमेंट को अंडर रिवर्स चार्ज. आप वो 40 फ्लैट एग्जिस्टिंग को दे रहे हो, आप बेच रहे हो, उसको कुछ लेना देना नहीं. Now the question comes, whether existing member is required to pay. Whose liability it is? Naturally, who is the registered dealer? Builder, promoter. It is his liability. Now क्या होता है? At the time of development agreement, that I don't want to commit, तो कस्टमर को बोलता है, देखो 5% GST है, वो मुझे मालूम नहीं है देना चाहिए कि नहीं देना चाहिए. यदि देना है तो आपको देना है. वो क्या करता है, आप GST का जिम्मेदारी आप लेते हो, तो मैं आपको 35% देता हूँ. आप GST का जिम्मेदारी नहीं लेते हो, तो मैं 25% देता हूँ. वो तो क्लियर है ना, कमर्शियल है उसका. तो बोलता है नहीं आपको 35% दे देना, आप जीएसटी का क्लॉज डाल देना कि क्योंकि 10% कम एरिया देते हैं मतलब मेरे लिए तो बहुत बड़ा है। तो दिस वे that 5% GST, the second question comes on what? Naturally, on the date of the OC, whatever is the market value of the first flat which is sold in the open market, that will be the base. 100 फ्लैट है, 80 फ्लैट बेचा, 20 अनसोल्ड है, अनसोल्ड 20 अनसोल्ड का क्या रेट पकड़ोगे? The first sale which he did in the open market, whatever is the rate, that same you apply. Same thing is in the redevelopment also. 120 फ्लैट बनाया, उसमें 60 बेचा, 60 बचा, 60 का फ्लैट का जो कीमत पहला सेल किया है उसका वैल्यू पकड़ो, उसके ऊपर 5% करो। मतलब आज का बाजार मूल्य से आपको 5% बढ़ना है। एक सोसाइटी एक पार्ला में सब एक एक फ्लैट का कीमत 3-3, 4-4 करोड़ आज का बाजार मूल्य। उन्होंने रीडेवलपमेंट किया, ओसी आ गया, बिल्डर बोलता है कि 60 लाख या 40 लाख हर एक के ऊपर जीएसटी आ रहा था 5%। द वैल्यू इज अराउंड 8 करोड़, सॉरी नॉट 3-4 करोड़, 8 करोड़। बड़ा फ्लैट है, 3 बेडरूम हो गया। वो 40 लाख रुपए भरो तो मैं आपको पोजीशन दूंगा। उसमें से 40 लोगों में से 20-22 लोगों ने दिया, 18 लोगों ने दिया नहीं। वो हाई कोर्ट में गया, इधर गया उधर गया, किधर भी वो जीता नहीं है। तो बोला कि नहीं, दिस इज अ लायबिलिटी, इन योर एग्रीमेंट इट इज क्लियर। फिर आखिर में 5 साल लगभग ताबा मिला नहीं, रेंट अपना खुद का दिया और फिर भी उनको पैसा अलॉन्ग विद इंटरेस्ट बिल्डर को देना पड़ा, बिकॉज देयर इज अ क्लॉज इन द डील। सो दिस पीपल कम्स टू मी एंड टेल मी, भाई एक काम करो ना, तुमको तकलीफ है ना, 40 लाख भरो, तुम्हारा 8 करोड़ का फ्लैट क्यों तुम स्टेट में रखते हो? समझते नहीं है? नहीं, ऐसा नहीं प्रभु साहब, आप ऐसा कैसा बोलते हो? ये जिम्मेदारी उनका है ना। भाई उनका जिम्मेदारी है, लड़ो। फिर आप अपना 8 करोड़ का चीज गिरवी रख के आप लड़ते हो, कौन समझाते हैं? मैं तो बोलता हूं अंडर प्रोटेस्ट भरो, दावा ले लो, उसके बाद लड़ो ना। नहीं, उसके बाद तो हम लड़ेंगे नहीं। मतलब तुम्हारा 8 करोड़ का फ्लैट तुम दावा में रख के फिर लड़ोगे, वकील को पैसा भरोगे, या तुम दावा लेके तुमको लड़ना है तो लड़ो ना, कौन रोकता है? सो माय आंसर इज वेरी सिंपल, GST is as on today applicable.
No, but can we safeguard this in the by way of DA?
हाँ, DA में लिखो ना, DA में लिखो ना।
Yes.
DA में one of the clause should be any indirect tax or future tax has to be the liability of the developer. बस, it should be very clear.
Fine.
आप clear करो ना।
Thank you.
थैंक यू सर। यहाँ पे किसी को क्वेश्चन? सो इसी के ऊपर एक सेट बताता हूँ।
देखो यंगस्टर को जरा।
हाँ सर, ओके, यू आर राइट सर।
Hello sir. At the time of original floor plan submitted to RERA authority for registration, builder has set they are going to purchase, say for example, out of 80 units, 50 units they are going to purchase under TDR, value of TDR, and project has been approved. Their units allocated, say for example flat number 202. So they are selling, and even registrar authority are not verifying it, and they are doing the registration. So under table C, whether shall we show it as a sold inventory or give our remarks for that? This is one question. And one more question. As per original plan, they are you have to allocate certain units by way of amenities. Say for example, society office or a gym like that. And suppose that unit has been replaced with another unit, and they have sold that unit. So do they have to implement or update floor plan? If it is not happened, then
yeah, you have to qualify in both this.
in that first case, say for example, the original CC resource for 18 floor and total floor going to construct is 24. So, but obviously we have to report till 18th floor. 18th floor itself, there are certain units as per original plan allocated to
Society.
from DDR.
Yes.
We are going to buy out this much from TDR, but that they have not yet acquired.
So that's what I'm telling you. If it's approved, then only you have to show. If the TDR is not yet purchased, so maybe they would have not got the rights to sell that particular flats also.
But they have done.
We will discuss this in that.
So here, practically, in terms of the approvals, if you see, one is the concession, then IOA, IOD, IOA, and then the CC. So from a practical point of view, the legality for that particular unit comes through the IOD, IOA. CC is the permission to construct. So CC is not the, you can say, most important document or most important thing. It is permission to construct, but the legality for that particular unit comes through the IOD, IOA. And for a simple thing, for as a professional, what you can do is you will report in your Form 3 only the units which are approved as per IOD, IOA. And if it is not there, then you are not certifying it, as simple as that. So if it is beyond that,
from a developer side, so since initial paperwork plays a key role in any VERA, the initial paperwork plays a key role in any VERA project. So what are the common mistakes which developers do and that can be avoided? One question. And second, is there any area of opportunity for CAs in that, like this that we have? Thank you.
ये शार्दुल भाई आपके लिए भी है ये.
Let him complete as a developer.
So आपको दोनों साइड से इसका आंसर मिलेगा, from the developer's point of view as well and from the chartered accountant point of view as well.
so see, common mistakes mean wo common hai na, there are certain things which you learn from your mistakes. Here is a community which does not learn from its mistakes. It repeats its mistakes. So उसमें कुछ नया बोलना या सुधारने का, it is an individual thing whether they want to avoid that or not. And you can write 1001 reason why a developer will fail, and still they will find one more reason how to fail. So that is kind of very difficult to answer what all things. But दो माला कम बनेगा, ज़्यादा बनेगा, it will all depend on the planning. But to start with, am I getting the right quantity which I am expecting? Otherwise, paper पे कुछ और मिल रहा. That is number one. Number two is, so there are a lot of approval authorities involved. Fire का NOC चाहिए, कहीं पे water channel है तो उसका चाहिए, aviation, lot of things. Now, lot of times in overconfidence, they commit lot of things. बिना understanding the thing of that particular locality कि भाई यहाँ पे इसका कोई issue आएगा या नहीं. CRZ, X, there are so many things which can hit you. Flamingo, so many things. While planning and while taking up a new project, ensure that you are aware that nothing is going to come and hit you. Daisar में lot of friends from here might be there. Daisar में वो radar डाल दिया है, उसके वजह से height restriction है. वो NL का एक building है, वो कुछ 50, 60, 40 माले का है, और उसके बाजू में 14 माले का approval नहीं मिल रहा है. So that is, you can, so try and see that you are in a position to get all the approvals which are required to start the project and end the project. Start से होता नहीं है, end करना पड़ेगा. तो खत्म करने के लिए हमको सारा approval मिलेगा कि नहीं? Most important is that. Second thing is in terms of the overall funding, from where you are going to get, how are you going to use, are you in a position to get the enough approval to start the project, XYZ. Third is the saleability. Is the location right? Are you going to get the price that you are expecting? नहीं तो आप 25,000 expect कर रहे हो, उधर 20,000 भी भाव नहीं आने वाला है. Then it is a recipe for disaster. Then in terms of feasibility, you have calculated certain things. Now we see a lot of feasibility from other people. We do our feasibility on our own. Lot of feasibility does not consider lot of cost. Before the discussion we were just discussing, lot of costs are not considered. Sale and marketing को गिनते ही नहीं है. Sale and marketing itself is 7-8% of the cost. Your feasibility will go for a toss. DA registration का stamp duty नहीं गिनते. All the feasibility will have profit before tax. We are tax experts. Tax ही नहीं होता है वो feasibility में. तो these are like, there can be a full day seminar on just what mistakes to avoid.
So just continuing what Litesh bhai said, these are the opportunities what you have as a chartered accountant. So from the time of registration छोड़ो, रजिस्ट्री का रोल बहुत अच्छे से निभा सकते हो. Keeping up आप एक आर्किटेक्ट के साथ टाइप कर लो, इंजीनियर के साथ टाइप कर लो, आप PMC बन जाओगे.
Sir, you will surprise that many of the developers themselves have become the PMC now. Because they have the knowledge and they find that instead of doing that business, it is better to be a consultant and earn more money. कि भाई अपना फीस लो और निकल जाओ.
वो भी without headache. वो भी without headache.
नहीं, headache तो सभी में रहता है. So just to add what the Litesh bhai said, the planning is very critical for a developer. Now I am coming to the what are the opportunities that a chartered accountant has. There are two types of opportunities are there. Don't have the theoretical and proper presentation and proper plotting of the facts and figures. So we will be the good guider, good advisor, good mentor to them, and we can assist them right from first step. That is the feasibility report. सबसे पहले feasibility report बनाओ. वो बोलते हैं रूल की इतने इतने ऑप्शन रहते हैं. 33 हो गया, 33, 3, 9, 7 दैट्स वो करके. But पहले आप प्लॉट तो करो. As a chartered accountant, we can provide that service to them. After studying the rule, proper interpretation, factual text के बेस पर सबसे पहला feasibility report. Second comes finance management, the most critical part. बैंक से कौन से टाइम पे वर्किंग कैपिटल, कौन से टाइम पे प्रोजेक्ट फंडिंग होगा, एस्क्रो अकाउंट कैसे रहेगा, इसका अगर प्लानिंग प्रॉपर तरीके से नहीं किया तो डेवलपर कितना भी प्राइम लोकेशन में बनाएगा, माल भी बिक जाएगा, लेकिन वो प्रॉफिट नहीं कर पाएगा. So these are the 2-3 very much untouched area by a practicing CA that they can explore, where a good handsome amount of revenue would be there. आप पूरे साल में सर्टिफिकेशन फॉर्म 3, फॉर्म 5 का कितना रुपया चार्ज कर लोगे? 1 लाख, 2 लाख, 3 लाख एक डेवलपर से एक प्रोजेक्ट के लिए, नॉट बियॉन्ड दैट. बट आप ये जो फिजिबिलिटी रिपोर्ट बनाना है, आप उनको जो है प्लानिंग के अंदर हेल्प कर रहे हो, फाइनेंस स्ट्रक्चरिंग कर रहे हो, सर उसके अंदर आपकी रेवेन्यू मिनिमम 25 से 50 लाख आएगी मिनिमम एक प्रोजेक्ट से. अगर आपके एक ही डेवलपर के पास मल्टीपल प्रोजेक्ट है और अगर आपके पास मल्टीपल डेवलपर क्लाइंट्स है तो आपका प्रैक्टिस ही 3 से 5 करोड़ का हो जाएगा, सिर्फ ये 2 या 3 एरिया पे फोकस किया तो. सो दिस आर द वेरी क्रिटिकल एरिया वेयर वी हैव टू वर्क अपॉन.
आई विल ऐड ऑन एक ही मिनट में कंप्लीट करता हूँ. सर एक डेवलपर जो 2 से 3 साल जेल के अंदर बैठ के आया, बहुत रिनोन्ड डेवलपर है. लास्ट वीक मेरा मुलाकात हुई. बोलते प्रभु सर नाउ डोंट थिंक ऑफ, और उनका जूनियर बोला कि सर कोटेशन दे देना, आप ये दे देना, वो दे देना, स्कोप दे देना. बोला सर हम स्कोप भी देंगे, आपको कोटेशन भी देंगे, सब कुछ देंगे. बोला कि आप कुछ भी कोटेशन दो, कुछ भी करो, लेकिन मुझे आज शुरुआत मैं करने वाला हूँ. दैट इज आई एम गोइंग टू डू अ डेवलपमेंट एग्रीमेंट, रीडेवलपमेंट एग्रीमेंट विद द सोसाइटी. फ्रॉम द डे आई एम डूइंग with all the people there involved, whether it is a solicitor for the drafting, whether it is an architect for planning, whether it is my sales team who is going to do, my business development team, my marketing team, ये पूरा का पूरा साथ को आपको coordination करना है. Plus सब coordination करके project, and then he said, give me one regulatory management, what are the things you can do. Second about the finance management. This Sunday.
So any more questions from the audience?
Ladies.
To class.
Suppose if a owner is having a 2 BHK and the builder, suppose if the owner is having 2 BHK and the builder is willing to give 35% extra, that is 3 BHK. But the owner doesn't want 3 BHK, he wants cash in return. Is that possible? And what would be the GST and taxation implications and where the person will get cash? Or the second question is, if the builder is not giving cash, can he take a Jodi flat and add one room over there instead of 2 BHK being 3 BHK?
Yes. See, basically you will have to deal with the builder. Either you take the possession of 3 BHK, you sell it and then buy a 2 BHK, or you. So yeah, but see 3 BHK तो PAA में आपको आ रहा है ना डायरेक्टली, वो तो PAA में आ रहा है आपको, तो उसमें. Can it be done in the form of a Jodi flat, like 2 BHK is one and the neighboring Jodi flat
gets as a 1 BHK and that one room gets added within the flat number?
Yeah, you can negotiate. You will have to negotiate while the first DA agreement is, before the DA agreement of your society is getting entered into with the builder. You negotiate at that particular point of time.
My first preference would be...
You can sell or you can barter.
You will get 2 units.
I request you, consult Kunal after this program or meet him in his office. He will give you all the options.
So my question is regarding self-redevelopment of redevelopment. So in case of self-redevelopment, what are the RERA compliances we should be, taking care of? Prabhu sir.
Then in the self-redevelopment, you are a promoter, society is a promoter, so all the obligations that a promoter would do need to be done by the society, that's it. Registration, agreement for sale, opening a 70% account, everything he has to do. Okay?
तो बोलेगा पर्ल सोसाइटी वाला केस पूरा एप्लीकेबल हो जाएगा.
आपको ज्यादा जानकारी चाहिए, मेरा कम से कम 100 वीडियो होगा रीडेवलपमेंट, सेल्फ रिडेवलपमेंट के ऊपर, आप गूगल करो, यूट्यूब में जाके आपको मिल जाएगा. उतना थोड़ा कंसंट्रेशन करके देखना पड़ेगा.
Merchant sir, last but not the least.
Not that I want.
Sir, I respect you a lot.
Then you can take the mic. इतना ये कि short कर दें.
Sir, एकदम short. I respect you a lot, Professor. You've done a huge body of work. You've been a mentor in this field for 38 years.
Question.
Okay, sir. Question to the point. Sir, is RERA applicable also for redevelopment?
Yes. His question is very simple. Whether RERA is applicable to a project which is under redevelopment, and in redevelopment there are 2 portions. What are the 2 portions? Because I wanted him to be very short. I understand. Thank you. So there are 2 portions. One is the REA portion, another is the sale portion. Now the RERA is applicable for the sale portion, not for the REA portion. Now why REA portion is not applicable? Because REA is a situation where you are negotiating, 2 promoters are negotiating, entering into a DA. So therefore, when there is, this has to go in the civil code or in the high court. So therefore, REA portion, REA members cannot take any grievances to the RERA. No doubt, in order to, whether they have to register the project, answer is yes, they have to register the project. If tomorrow after registering the project, if the builder becomes bankrupt, all the liability steps into the shoes of the society. Society will be exposed to the huge liability that the developer will create.
The Supreme Court case, let just say.
Just now I have said about the Supreme Court judgment, and n number of judgments are going on. So therefore, one has to be very careful when you are selecting the developer as far as redevelopment is concerned. Now in order to do this, because see, I have been in this sector for last 35 years. My life has started with this. So the developers were not giving a conveyance. So what did I do? I called few people. I prepared a book on deemed conveyance. How a deemed conveyance can happen. I presented it to the government, and thereafter, after 2, 3, 4 years, they came out with the draft law, this, that, and ultimately I had to go up to Rashtrapati Bhavan and get the deemed conveyance done. And a lot of agitation we have done. So the government does not do something unless until you activate it. So that is what has been done. In the redevelopment, there was no process system policies. In 2000, redevelopment started in Khar and Bandra area because of the TDR and all. And up to 2009, there was no policies. But during the year, I came out with 3 different books on redevelopment. And those books I gave it to the housing department, cooperative department. Then they came out with a circular called 3rd January 2009. Now RERA came in. Now the RERA has excluded the redevelopment. We have been talking to the government. Please create some authority to have the redevelopment authority also. But or give it to the RERA, let them give additional. No, bolta ki the RERA does not give. So how can I give additional responsibility? That is not possible. We said, okay, create a new authority, which they are not creating. Therefore, when Gautam Chatterjee retired from RERA, I requested him, sir, we'll give all the support. So let us have Grah Harmony Redevelopment Stakeholder Federation. all the redevelopment stakeholders, whether it's a promoter, developer, architect, engineer, advocate, chartered accountant, or a building material supplier, all the stakeholders associated we have taken together. We have formed the Grah Harmony Redevelopment Stakeholder Federation. It's a Section 8 company where Gautam Chatterjee is the chairman, I am the vice chairman. Housing Society Federation, Mumbai Grak Panchayat, Maharashtra National Law University for the purpose of mediation, then Maharashtra State Cooperative Bank, all these are our members. You are also member. The developer with whom he is working, they are also member of this. So what I am saying is, what we have done, we have created a portal. You can go to the portal, grsf.in. In that portal, whoever the developer wants to do the redevelopment, they list on one side. Housing society who wants to go for redevelopment, they list on the other side. Housing society need not pay any money. The developer and the other service provider has to pay the money. Developer only 10,000 rupees, and for service provider like chartered accountant, advocate, estate agent, and we as a stakeholder can come together